now listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello. Welcome, you guys, to the Good Bad Advice Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Chase.
I'm Stephanie.
We are so excited to bring you another episode where we give advice to people in the news who did definitely not ask for it.
No.
It's our favorite kind. Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing so good. I have had a bit of a rough morning.
Yeah, tell everybody what happened this morning.
There was some treachery in the studio this morning. I spilled on myself not once, but twice.
So I had grabbed us some chai because we're officially in spooky season. And I was like, I will grab us some chais, thinking I'm like absolutely elevating the experience this morning. And Stephanie comes back from the bathroom with just this giant wet mark on her boob and is like, I spilled my chai. And so we were giving it a little bit of space to dry.
I just need a little bit of a sippy straw.
Yeah, you need a little sippy straw, a little sippy. And a bib, because she then, as we're waiting for the first spill to dry, she takes another sip and spills again on her other boob, as though it was so funny. She's like, oh my gosh, I'll just cover it with my hair. So for those of you watching, just know underneath that hair is some chair.
That's a secret I'll never tell.
Well, we're officially in fall season.
We are.
I'm obsessed with fall. It's the absolute... Anybody who doesn't think fall is the best season is patently wrong.
Yeah.
The order goes fall, spring, winter, summer, because I sweat so much.
Yeah.
I'm ready for like sweater weather. I don't want like chunky sweater.
Like it's currently fall and I'm still in a t-shirt, but that is also because I did spill your chai on my cardigan. So anyway, I'm just driving.
Just having a great morning. We fancified our studio by bringing in some pumpkins for fall.
Yeah.
That's just, I'm wearing a Hocus Pocus
we
sweatshirt.
need to emphasize the fall.
We're really leaning into fall. I've baked pumpkin chocolate chip bread and banana bread within a week.
Gorgeous.
I'm basically I'm a baker.
Oh, sorry. Are you coming for baking with Blondie's neck?
Yeah. Watch out, Mandy.
The nicest.
The literal
most
nicest
lovely person in the world.
Ever.
And we're like,
we're not talking about some other bakers we know, but we are just going to keep it nice for Mandy. I'm not coming for her, but...
And I'm so sorry to the other bakers we know. We're not talking about you. We are thinking of a very specific person that isn't you.
Yeah, 100%. How was your weekend?
It was really good. I went to Nate Bargatze at the Delta Center.
Explain who he is for those of us that don't know.
He is that's you. That's you that doesn't know. No, he is a very funny comedian. Honestly, all of his shows that I've been to, laughing out loud, hysterical. He kind of has that like, I'm a dumb man humor, but he does it less like Jim Gaffigan and more thoughtfully, I think.
Okay.
Which to me means like he actually is really smart.
Yeah.
But like how delusional I am is that like he was telling jokes and I was like, oh, it would have been funny if he like took it here. And we left the show and I'm like saying these things to Traven. He's like, you have 6 episodes of a podcast.
7
like,
today, Traven.
You're not.
7.
And I was like, I am comique. Like we're
She
peers.
did text me as well and say, I just went to a comedy show and realized we could be comedians.
Yes.
And I was like, I thought we already were. We just haven't sold out the Delta Center yet.
Put us on a stage, honestly. Put us on a stage. I was like, I'm just as funny as this, which is crazy because we have about 4 listeners and he sold out the Delta Center.
We have more than
shows.
4 listeners for the record, but he did sell out a few more. He filled more seats than we probably could right now.
And therefore, the 4 listeners are my mom, my dad, your mom, your dad.
Yeah, actually, I don't think my dad listens because yesterday I made a reference to the Roman Empire. And he was like, and I said, like in the Roman Empire, like, and he was like, wait, what? And I was like, Dad, we literally told you about this when we filmed our podcast on Monday, which for those of you that don't know, we dropped a special episode on Monday about the Roman Empire. And so I said to my dad, like, well, what are you talking about? I did an entire episode on the Roman Empire and our pop culture moments. And he was like, right. Loved it.
One.
It was
that was
so good. Thanks, Dad.
And you're like, name 3 things from the episode.
Yeah, 100%.
That episode was good.
That episode is really funny. We've really sparked some controversy because apparently it's a crime to have not seen the Lizzie McGuire movie.
It is.
And my twin sister wrote me publicly on the post that she was disowning me in any relationship to me because I didn't know, hey now, this is what dreams are made of. That's what we should sing every time one of our reels goes a little viral, which one did again this weekend. We're pretty amazing.
The next one got 200 views. So
yeah, we really ebb and flow. We're either at like 50,000 views or like both you and me and our 4 parents watching.
And the 20 times that we watched it.
Yeah, which is to add to the reels. I fell asleep and I was like, oh, good. I've got some views. Those were me.
Those were you overnight. How was your weekend?
It was good. Really, the highlight of the weekend, in addition to having dinner with our friends, was we got new bedding from Target. And that is how you know we're in our 30s. Because
new bedding.
The highlight of our weekend was getting Magnolia home bedding, well, like the duvet cover, and then we got some really sick pillows. We had to go to a couple Targets to round them all up. But that was our exciting Saturday night. We really just go crazy.
New bedding is a spiritual experience in your like late 20s, early 30s.
Yes.
You're like, it's crisp. You get that first new bedding sleep where it's like perfect temperature.
I change my sheets. Like I switch out my sheets every 2 days.
Yeah, that's psychotic.
No, it's not. It's the best feeling ever.
Every 2 days?
Every 2, maybe 3 days. If I've ever hit 4, it literally grates on my skin while I'm sleeping. And so why are you staring at me like that?
Because that's honestly psychotic.
Give me a better feeling that children could listen to. Give me a better feeling than getting into bed at the end of a long day. You freshly showered and it's fresh sheets on your bed.
You shower every night before you get in your bed?
Every night that I have put fresh sheets on my bed, I'm showering so I don't bring my dirty self into my clean bed.
You're a psycho.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you being a psycho. That's psychotic.
There's no possible way I am the lone wolf that doesn't just love. My dad, I think, showers every night before getting into bed too. That's like, I just grew up watching that.
Oop.
And I oop.
And you.
Anyway, we got new bedding and we love it. I'll have to send you a picture. I didn't send it to you. And we have like a really, really thick. We just brought out our really thick duvet, which is like.
I wish I could sleep with a thick duvet.
You get too hot?
I sleep at roughly 1,000 degrees. It is Pompeii inside of me when I sleep. I will wake up in full body sweats all the time. I went to Pompeii this
summer, for the record. It is creepy as hell.
It's so creepy.
It's so creepy.
The last time I went there, I was like, oh, so we're doing an immersive experience? Because it was so hot. I now claim it as the hottest day of my life personally.
Really?
Because it was treacherously hot. It's now referenced in my family all the time. Like anytime somebody's hot, they're like, but not as hot as Pompeii. I'm like, I know that's right. The
thing that here was my experience at Pompeii. The guide hated me from the get.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely convinced I could win her over. I did not. Unsuccessful. This Italian woman was like absolutely not having it. I also then thought, I don't know why my brain stopped at this one moment where I thought I would just act like I was Vanna Whiting one of the rooms that we were in. And so I was like touching everything and then I touched something else and then I got yelled at in front of like all my peers, which was just like a real banger feeling for me.
It was a humbling experience.
Yeah, I just honestly, it was super spooky. For those of you that don't know, Pompeii is the city on the island in Italy. I don't know if it's on an island.
An island.
That's right across from Sicily, though, Because I remember seeing Sicily and Pompeii, then being like, that's where you would go out for Sicily. We should have done that excursion, but we went to Pompeii.
Instead, we went to Pompeii and you get to see like
and
the
it's
crumpled
covered in
up
ash.
people on the ground.
I know, that's so sad. The other thing, when you were there, did you see so it's covered in ash. Everyone knows that. And so there's people that were covered in ash. And so they're basically entombed. And then they've recreated some of them and have them on display. There's multiple naked men with parts that were not Michelangelo's David, if you know what I mean. And so I just feel like when they get to heaven and they're like, how'd you die? And they're like, I actually died in Pompeii. And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, I saw you. I was at Pompeii.
I saw that.
And then he'll be like, yeah, they actually used that was you.
That was you.
Okay. I see what's happening down south.
Right.
I was just like, you could not, like, the violation of that man's privacy is so unbelievably like problematic.
Yeah,
like he is talking to the manager up in heaven right now. He's like, I don't care what I did on earth. I'm going to heaven because everyone is just seeing my wiener right there. In Pompeii, they're charging 29 euros to have people walk around and take pictures of, it was holding up a baby carrot next to it.
29 euros for me to walk around the fires of Mordor. It was too hot. It was too hot.
I hate being hot. I hate being hot more than everything in this world. Being hot, I would rather you be late, which is my number one pet peeve. I would rather people be late than me be hot.
Than me have to be hot for 45 minutes.
4 minutes. If I get a little too sweaty, I have now bought 2 personal fans.
Yeah.
I sleep with a fan blowing on my face. I sleep with a fan blowing from the other side of the room, and I sleep with a bed jet underneath my covers. I'm basically in a tornado, and I'm like, you're
in the eye of the storm.
I'm in the fully eye of the storm. Toto is spiraling above me. We got cows every night. That's a Twister reference. Every night right before bed, and I'm just like, perfect, because I hate being hot.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm really excited for fall. Let's hope that our trajectory just stays being cool. I hate that Utah has first fall, second summer, second fall, third summer, first winter, second fall, fourth summer, and then winter.
And then winter.
Like, we just are so schizophrenic in the fall. It'd be glorious if we had like a spring equivalent to the fall, because we had a really beautiful spring.
Yeah. But then we have eternal winters, so.
I love winter too. I could go fall, winter, spring, summer in my favorite holidays.
If it actually, like, if our weather patterns actually followed that, but they don't.
Yeah, but I'm saying
for your likability.
For my preference, I like fall, winter, spring, summer, because I love Christmas. I love snow. I love Christmas. Yeah, if you think these little pumpkins are anything to write home about, come Christmas, you'll be like, what, the Santa's workshop in there?
Yeah. We'll be dressing up as Santa and
costumes, the whole thing.
Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Yes, which we're working on our Halloween costume right now, and we're very excited. We're just figuring things out. So stay tuned. Drop a guess if you think what we're going to be.
That's a good idea.
See if you can get it right.
See if you can
guess our Halloween. Maybe we'll put that as we get closer to the actual episode, but we'll see if people can guess it.
Good idea.
All right, should we hop in?
Yeah,
we got some. Our weekly advice comes to us. We actually got another Molly. Thank you, Molly, for just sending us so many suggestions. We love Molly for the suggestions and Chicken Gary.
Yeah. Oh.
The 2 best things. Gary. And I guess Molly gave us you. So the 3 best things in that order. Just kidding. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. What do you think about that?
This seems like a risky game.
Okay.
Also, I think that this is for people who are doing long distance. This is what they say to make themselves feel better.
Yeah, I feel like there's a difference. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. If it's unavoidable absence, deployment, distance, geography, whatever, I agree. But if you're intentionally creating absence to try to like get that person to like you more, that's called games, and games do not make the heart grow fonder. Games are stupid, and everyone should stop doing them.
They only work in your early 20s.
Yeah, barely, with idiot boys.
Those and read receipts, those work.
That read receipt really did work wonders for us. When Steph and I were single at the same time, and
so fun.
it was honestly the best. That is like part of when we peaked. And so we had a black book for each other, a shared black book of notes of men dates that we were both going on dates with. We would rate them. We'd put pictures up. We'd give context. We'd give stars. We then would comment on each other's dates, and we would then talk about all of our like really manipulative dating games and tricks we would play on these men. And they almost invariably worked, like leaving men on red.
100%. If you are not getting responses from a man, turn your read receipts on and stop responding.
Yeah, give him a day or two, and that he will be right there.
He'll fall in love with you. It's crazy.
Yes.
That did very efficiently work for both of us.
Right. That was a fun time. We would also go on dates, and then we would coordinate being done with the date early so that we could meet at Handel's ice cream and get brownie sundaes.
I literally finished a date with my now husband. We did a tennis date, and I was like, oh, we have like an early night. You and I went to Toy Story 4 after.
Steph and I
walked out the door, and I got in my car and skirted out of there, like, to go watch Toy Story with you.
Yeah, I would just, like, send these boys home and be like, so sorry, my tum's a little sick. And then, like, text you ready? And then she'd be outside with our blankets, our bucket of popcorn, and our Stanleys, or whatever the equivalent was back then.
Yeah.
And we would hit the movies. We went to so many movies.
So many.
And we have a rule. When we go to the movies with each other, we sit in the luxury seats in like the little box section. We do not care what the other person is doing, if they're on their phone, if they've fallen asleep, if they're totally into the movie.
If your volume does play out loud, we will give each other a look.
Yeah, we'll be like, it's a little loud, Steph. Yeah. Turn it down. You are
Put
FaceTiming someone.
In, okay?
But
so
that is like our favorite. So we're going to a movie again next week, which we're excited about. T Swift concert movie.
Oh, yes.
That is next week. I hope everybody has their tickets. It's like sold out like crazy.
Yeah, if you don't have your tickets, we'll see you the next weekend.
So I have kids that live out of state. I absolutely believe that the absence makes the heart grow fonder. But I think if you're creating intentional absence to get that heart to grow fonder, you've absolutely missed it. We're only talking about unavoidable absences.
Yeah. Also, like, you don't love them more because they're gone. You just miss them, and it's heartache.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the stories. People need our advice.
All right. The name on everybody's lips this weekend. Did I actually watch the Cheifs game?
No.
Yes, I did. I watched it.
You really did?
I can show you a picture. I texted my mom and was like, look what's happening. I'm watching football on a Sunday.
I'm so proud of you,
She was like, for Taylor? And I was like, obviously. She goes to talk about it on the podcast. I was like, also yes.
Also yes. I did not watch it, mainly because I was like, they're going to show the game, not Taylor Swift. Like, I don't.
Nope, they showed Taylor Swift about half the time. I kid you not. It'd be like terrible play for the Chiefs. Cut to Taylor's reaction. They should have just had a Taylor cam feed. But this says Taylor Swift cheers for Travis Kelce at Chiefs versus Jets game with Ryan Reynolds, Sophie Turner, Blake Lively, and Hugh Jackman. That VIP box was stacked.
I know. There is a photo showing the whole box and everybody in it. And I texted Chase, I'm going to tell my kids this is the royal family.
Yeah.
It was
literally, and they're all looking down on people, and you're like, why am I getting emotional, and why am I holding my breath?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Amazing.
Star-studded. So interesting to watch. It is crazy. Like, the star power of Taylor Swift, but the way that the world is enraptured.
The fact that they were using Welcome to New York, because it's the New York Jets, as the promo advertisements for the game is insane. The fact that then everybody was using, the fact that Carson Daly did before the game a separate segment that said, for all the Swifties who are watching football for the first time, let me walk you through how the game is played so you are not lost. Like, the sheer craziness that is the fact that that NFL, like, these are NFL is a big flippin' deal. Like, that is the most American thing out there, is the NFL and guns. And we have the NFL completely morphing into Taylor Swift. NFL,
they're in their
parentheses,
Taylor Swift
Taylor's
era.
version. Yes, they're in their Taylor Swift era, without question. Although I have an interesting thing I saw on TikTok.
Okay.
Someone said, why did she choose to go to the Jets game of all the games? Not only because it's the next game, but like someone had said, it's not likely that Taylor Swift will be at every Chiefs game from here on out. Like that's
Although, wouldn't that be iconic?
well, she's going to go back on tour.
I
So
know,
she's
I
not
just
going to
wish
be
she could.
available. Like it would be amazing if she did. But this person was saying there's going to be strategic games that she decides to go to. And then this TikToker said, when you used to Google New York and Jets, there were all these articles about all of her emissions and the fact that she's like over polluting the environment. And now when you Google Taylor Swift and Jets, you're going to get her at the Jets game with Travis Kelce. And it was a PR attempt to bury her bad press about the amount of emissions her private jet is putting out there.
Well, did you?
Isn't that insane?
That's insane. But that is also what she did with her 1989. One of her vault tracks is called parentheses slut.
Yes.
So now when you Google Taylor Swift slut,
It comes out as one of her
it
songs.
comes out as one of her songs. That's like
That's so
when she says
Inception-y.
Machiavellian.
Yeah.
I believe her. She is so smart.
Her team, the team that she has surrounded herself with to be able to make sure that they're controlling the narrative is bananas.
Do you think it's Snowden?
I don't know. I don't think we should have we don't think we should say his name. That's like Voldemort. You shouldn't say certain names on podcasts. Like
Snowden.
putting it into oh my gosh, stop saying it. You're going to get us in trouble. You may as well just like mention Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe just like he didn't kill
No,
himself
he's a
and then
bad guy.
boom. I'm just saying.
Arguably,
there's certain
Snowden is also a bad guy. So
right. There's certain names that we can't
it depends
say.
who you ask, okay? And he's definitely plotting Taylor Swift's.
It's such a crazy perspective that I was like, whoa, okay. I can get kind of on board with some of this.
Yeah, that's honestly smart.
Very, very smart.
I'm not even mad about it.
I'm not mad at anything she does. I would kill for her.
Yeah.
Not
and people
like
are like mad about her plane emissions, and I'm like, and you would do it too for a check, okay?
fully.
You would fly back to your own bed every night if you could too, okay?
Right. And remember when Charlotte and I got back from Taylor Swift, I told you that I'd never been in an environment where I felt the most culty of all time. And I was in it. Like I was drinking that Kool-Aid. I was Jim Jonesing. Like I was fully on board. And then it like hit me the next day for the last, we flew out the next day, but we ate at the In-N-Out right by the airport, which is also right by SoFi. And it was just packed with Swifties. And so I had this feeling of like Taylor Swift could say, go start a riot or like go protest the banking system or whatever else. And literally millions of people would do what she asked.
No, she could run for president.
Oh, for sure.
Like easily would pull in some votes.
Yeah, she would. It would be a bizarre. It's like when everyone was saying Oprah. Oprah really had that power for a long time of like being, I mean, she's kind of had a fall lately, but she did have that kind of power where everything she said, if she said it was one of her favorite things, boom, sold out, made the company millionaires.
Yeah, that was kind of a crazy time.
A crazy time. And now I think
she still kind of does it, but it doesn't have the power that it did before. Like
No,
she would
it's
be
diluted.
like, this is my favorite Coach bag, sold out in minutes.
Yeah. And now Taylor Swift wears those jean shorts and it sold out in 4 minutes after they first showed her walking through security.
Love that for them.
Crazy. Okay, so I have some thoughts. I have some advice. First off, we posted this reel about Taylor Swift from our episode last week about her dating American. We got a lot of really funny comments. A lot of people were laughing and loving what we were saying. And then there were quite a few people that were like, he's actually a bad guy. Like, things going to come out about him from his exes. And here's my advice. Instead of focusing on bad things people did, potentially did or didn't, allegedly did or didn't in past relationships, just let people be who they are today.
Oh my gosh.
That drives me
exactly what I was going to say.
Unbelievably bananas. When people are like, well, you know, he's a blank. No, he did blank years ago.
Yeah.
And I hate that so much. I hate when people pigeonhole someone to what they did. Mm-hmm. Like or who they were.
Also, like,
allow people to
we
grow.
know that there are statutes of like if somebody did something like extremely hateful, criminal.
That's true.
Like, yes, we get it, but like that he cheated on one of, or allegedly cheated on one of his past girlfriends, or that he was kind of a player. Yeah, he is a player of a game. Like, literally. Like,
Again, he's a tight end.
He's a tight end. Okay, so like, not just that though. Some of these comments too. My advice: let people be happy. Let me live. Let me have this. I don't get to think about sports very often.
Right.
I don't want to think about sports very often.
Truth.
Let me have this. Let people be happy.
Yeah, when
I don't
people are like,
understand this.
I saw a bunch of comments on the NFL pages that were like, we're going to start unfollowing the NFL. You've about, capped it out. And I'm like, are you insane? It's a fun window of time that we get to celebrate like a crazy experience that's happening. Lean in.
Let people be happy.
Yeah, and don't crap on someone else's parade simply because you don't want to walk it.
Yeah.
Like, do your own thing then, but don't be taking everybody down. And I do agree with you. Like, there's certain things that clearly we have to say are unforgivable, or like it's always going to change it. We were talking about it a couple episodes ago about people that get DUIs. And it's like, I'll always kind of think of you as like someone who got a DUI. Now, does that mean that I don't want that person to be happy in the future? No, it just means that like that's something that happened. And if you're not remorseful and if you're not changed, then fine. But if you're holding people to who they were instead of who they are, get a life.
Also,
get real, get help, call therapy.
This man has been in the public eye for 10 plus years at least.
Yeah.
If there was truly something bad that he did, it would have come out already.
And how old is Travis Kelce? Like in his early 30s?
Taylor Swift.
So she's
34.
89, 34. So he skyrocketed to stardom in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
Mid-20s. I know you're still like in your mid-20s.
In my mid-20s. Oof.
Ooh.
Oof.
That was forever ago, girl. Just kidding.
I'm 29, okay?
Knocking on 30's door. Welcome to the club. Your back will always hurt.
In that voice, it made me seem like I was 38.
I know. I can't wait.
Okay.
I can't wait till you're in your 30s
30,
and
flirty,
things
driving.
just randomly start hurting
No,
for you.
never. I'm super youthful.
Got it. Okay, speaking of super youthful, one of your queens, your idols, Beyoncé, has announced that the Renaissance Tour is coming to theaters and as a concert film December 1st, playing everywhere. We got our tickets yesterday.
Immediately. Luxury seats, IMAX theater.
Yes, dead center. If you're in Salt Lake, come to, is it Jordan Commons?
Jordan
IMAX?
Commons.
Jordan Commons.
7 p.m. No, 7:30.
7:30 p.m. December 1st. We'll be signing autographs until they tell us to stop. At the theater.
We'll be signing for us, not
be
Beyonce.
signing headshots. We should get headshots of you and me.
But like really janky ones.
But
like JCPenney.
they'd be janky anyway because we're not like headshot people. Yeah. It always makes me think of that giant. We have this giant logo.
One day we'll show you guys the view that we have. It's a bit chaotic.
It's a real how the sausage is made moment of just really goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so her concert film, I didn't go to the tour, so this I'm really excited for. You did go to the tour, and I have a couple thoughts. One, unlike Taylor Swift, who wore essentially, now I know there were variations on different shows, but essentially the same outfit in each show, multiple outfits, but the same set of outfits in each show. Beyonce really didn't do that. Beyonce had
she switched
just
outfits a lot.
So many different outfits. And when we say switched outfits, we're not saying like a gold lame to like a silver sequin. We're saying like full face covered mask, giant ponytail, and then like a long flowy dress for the exact same song. Yeah. I wonder how that will look on the concert.
So she did originally, like at the beginning of her tour, she was wearing a lot of similar looks. Towards the second half, she started really switching up her outfits, which tells me probably the first part of the tour was when they did all the filming for continuity, and then they probably did behind the scenes stuff. As far as I know, it's not like the Eras tour is going to be, which is like you're just watching the concert with like really good perspective. I think this is going to be more of what a traditional like Beyonce, the Homecoming documentary was.
Or the Beyonce I Am
Yes.
which we watched that multiple years for Christmas. You
It's
and me, the week
so
of Christmas. That was our
good.
jam.
So it's going
But
to be
it's
a
2
little
hours and
bit.
40 minutes. The movie is.
Yeah, so
I saw
I think
the
it's going to
runtime.
walk through her concert, but also do a lot of behind the scenes.
I loved the Homecoming on Netflix. I
So
thought that
good.
was so interesting.
Every time I
and
feel bad about myself or like feel down about myself, I watch that because it like
just gets you there.
It gets me there. It makes me just be like, Beyonce can, I can too. Which is so delusional.
Literally tell me you're delusional. Watching her being like, yes, I can. Cut to you just like getting in your car, driving to your job. Like so unbelievably not Beyonce. Like not even putting on makeup.
Said,
Just like,
la,
I'm
la,
a
la,
warrior.
la.
I'm a woman.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So what do you think the rules should be for going to concert films? We're going to experience it at Taylor Swift. We're going to see it at Beyonce. Are the rules that you can sing along, dance, or is it like everyone's just watching the film? Are we paying respect and reverently watching?
I don't know. I think Taylor Swift is going to be like, we're dancing, we're singing along. Maybe
We
you're
have our
getting out of your
merch coming. I think
chairs.
everyone's going to be in merch.
I think so
Friendship
too.
bracelets, I think, are still going to be
I
a thing.
think Beyonce's might, I guess depending on where you're at in the country, it might be like a party or it might be like reverence.
Yeah.
Because she really treats her music as like with reverence in her documentaries and like with art to the process.
Yeah, because it's listed as a movie documentary, and I think Taylor Swift is just listed as a concert experience.
I think we'll be able to party when she is singing, but oftentimes in her documentaries, there is like clips of her singing and then like all of a sudden she talks over it and like overlays.
Yeah, do you
So I
like
don't know
that,
if
or would you rather just have a Beyonce Renaissance tour that you could just watch the whole concert?
Well, here's the thing with that tour. She's doing like full, I mean, like she's switching out her weave kind of halfway through. There was a lot of dead space at her concert. And it was still a party. She still had good music going. She even still had some of her music going. But she was off stage a lot. Versus like the Taylor Swift concert.
She barely was off
For
stage.
the 90 minutes, she was on stage for 87 minutes.
Yeah, wait,
like-
she was on for longer than 90 minutes.
Was she?
I think it was like almost 3 hours.
Oh, yeah, that does equal more than 90 minutes.
Wait, did you? Did you forget how long an hour was?
Yeah, no, I totally forgot
60
how long.
minutes, sweetie.
No, I forgot how long that concert was, honestly.
That
I'm so,
concert made like records. I think it was over 3 hours. Hang on, I'm just going to look it up
But
right now.
either way, of the 3 hours, she was on stage for 2 hours and 58 minutes.
Yeah.
Beyonce was off stage a lot, so I don't know what the concert experience would be watching hers.
So I just read that the Taylor Swift era's concert film will be a little shorter than her live concerts, clocking in at 2 hours and 45 minutes instead of the over 3 hours as her concerts typically ran. So they've cut some things off of Taylor Swift's concert experience, but that makes sense because there was, for example, when I was there after Champagne Problems, there was about a 9-minute entire section of just applause. So obviously they could cut that out. I could see getting rid of some of that and moving it along. I'm really excited. My advice to these concert goers.
Show the applause in parentheses. This went on for 9 minutes.
Yeah. Boop. Like a Wes Anderson film. We watched a Wes Anderson film, the one that's on Netflix. It's like 40 minutes long with starring Benedict Cumberbatch and not Ralph Fiennes, but one of those guys. Anyways, and it's a short story of Roald Dahl. From Roald Dahl. And I don't know the name. I'm going to have to look it up.
Was Roald Dahl canceled? I thought he was like
Is he?
Nazi enthusiast or something like that. I thought he hated Jewish people.
Okay,
Honestly,
well,
allegedly.
that makes me so sad. I'm like, okay.
I guess he's dead, so I don't have to say allegedly, but I think it was him.
Okay, so the one on Netflix is The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. And I've never seen a Wes Anderson film before.
They're good.
Really good. I always thought that they were like the weird person in your
odd.
class that had like two different sized.
Wore high socks.
Yeah, wore high socks and had two different sized lenses for his glasses. Like one was a triangle and one was a square. No, you know what I mean?
do know
Those
what you
people that are
mean.
like, I don't know, I had these custom made, but it's like glued by himself along the bridge. And it's just like a circle and a triangle.
It's the Luna Lovegoods of the world.
That's true. Anyway, so I really, really liked it. It was so interesting. Just the style was done funny. And that's how they could do like a Wes Anderson does Taylor Swift's concert. And so it's like, boop. And then someone just looks at the screen. The audience can continue to applaud for 9 minutes. We'll save you that. And then cut to the rest of the concert.
That would be a good partnership. Not really Taylor style, but
yeah, that's true.
It would be a good partnership nonetheless.
Okay, we've literally done 3. We're going to do our 3rd concert. Oh, sorry. Our advice to people going to the show, absolutely let people have fun.
Yeah.
Let them experience it however they experience it. But read the room.
Yeah.
Like it's that give and take of, I want to have so much fun. And if you're going, it's kind of like I went to a sing-along of Greatest Showman when it was in the theater. I got kicked out. This is a true story. That's the only time I've ever been kicked out of a movie theater. And I'm 1,000% convinced it's because I was gay. This was my only hate crime.
No.
Can you believe this? Okay, I'm going to tell you this story really quick. I'm in there with my then boyfriend and my sister and her friend.
Okay.
Where it's a sing-along. Yeah. Everyone is singing along, recording themselves, singing, whatever else. And I'm recording myself singing. Yeah. So is my sister. So are 5,000 people in the room with me. There wasn't that big of a theater. Let's say 50 other people in there.
Okay.
A guy comes out, one of the workers comes out, taps me and says, I need to speak with you outside. And I was like, okay. So I go outside and he's like, were you filming in there? And I was like, yeah, I was just filming myself singing because it's like a sing-along. He's like, you're not allowed to film. We're kicking you out of the movie theater. And I was like, wait, what? And he goes, yeah, you can go get your little boyfriend too. And I said, excuse me? He goes, yeah, your boyfriend? I'm assuming that's the guy you were dancing with? And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, I'm going to go back in and get him and my sister and her friend. He's like, you're not allowed back in the theater. And I was like, screw that. So I just walked in the theater and I was like, hey, I'm being kicked out. No one else got pulled out of the theater. No one else got kicked out.
I am shocked.
I leave the theater and I call the manager and I'm like, hi, I just got kicked out. Someone needs to explain this to me. I'm like 1,000% convinced it's because I was dancing with my boyfriend. And the girl was like, I'm going to have to figure that out. I'll have to call you back. And I was like, great. I'm going to wait at customer service. Like, this is not going to go away. No. And we also happen to know Gail Miller personally. And so I was like, just so you're aware, we're family friends with Gail Miller. And I just want to make sure I have everybody's name who's involved in what just happened. And homegirl's like, oh. Anyways, the guy ended up coming back, admitted to the manager that he kicked me out because I was dancing with my boyfriend. He didn't think two guys should be dancing together. And he got fired there. And he wrote me an apology letter.
As he should.
You know what the real crime was, though? Didn't even get a free movie. I was thinking they're going to comp me the movie. They did not refund me the ticket because they're like, well, you're still not allowed to.
Now that's a hate
You're
crime.
still not allowed to be filming. And I was like, everybody else was filming. They're like, okay, but you're admitting that you were filming, so we're not going to refund you your ticket. And I was like, oh, okay. But I have an apology. I have a handwritten apology note from him.
As he should.
For that. So
should.
Don't ruin it. And to the employees of the movie theaters, don't be jerks to people who are just having a good time in the movie theater. Like, we're not bootlegging this concert experience like with some fancy camera to sell on DVDs down Canal Street. Like, what do you think's happening, you guys? Okay.
Third concert story.
Third concert story is U2 kicks off Vegas residency with Otherworldly show. It's in the Sphere at Las Vegas at the MGM. Did you see the videos from the show?
Honestly, it looks like nauseating.
Really? Oh, that's your take? Oh, a hot take.
And you know why it is nauseating? Because of U2. How do we not have another band for these things? Do you know one of their songs? No, you don't. Don't even list one.
I don't. My friend Courtney Miller is going, and Hawks now, loves U2 so much. And so I feel badly like telling her this. So Courtney, please turn off the podcast. U2 is without exaggeration one of the worst things that has ever happened to the United States.
U2 should be treated the way that we treat Nickelback. They're
Agreed.
a crime against humanity.
Barf.
Why did they show up on my iPhone?
Without permission.
Automatically.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we just forget about consent?
I have literally deleted those and they still come back.
They are gremlins. You get them a little wet. Those little YouTube albums just pop
YouTube?
everywhere.
U2 needs to get off my jock.
Yes.
Like, the second I saw this concert, I was like, of course it's U2. How do we not? Give me an
who do you replace
reunion.
it with? Because let's say that the actual Sphere experience itself, insane, trippy, incredible, to be encapsulated in thousands and millions
exactly.
of little teeny screens.
Who would have been great for this?
Yes. However, we're going to say two people. You either have to do someone who's currently in Vegas. They need to just take that spot over. And then someone who's not in Vegas.
Okay. Currently in Vegas, Adele. Easy. Or Bruno Mars.
Ooh.
That's a better take. Bruno Mars would
Okay.
have been so good for that. Plus, he's like such an artist. It would have been so good. The other one, who's not currently in Vegas, Coldplay. I'm not
I
even
thought
a
the
Coldplay
exact same
fan.
thing.
They would have been so
You and
good
I
for
are
that.
the same brain because we see each other.
Exactly.
Because I absolutely had thought Sky Full of Stars, incredible. Yellow, incredible. Like Coldplay, and I'm
one.
not like, I'm not baptized in Coldplay's
No, I don't even love Coldplay,
water.
but they would have been perfect for this. Who contacted Bono for this job?
He just has so much influence. He has so much power that if he's like, this is the newest thing, I want to have it. And he should have been like, actually, I know people don't love me. I mean, people have to love him because they've sold out. But I
don't know
can't
if
imagine
they
if
sold out or
it's the venue
Sphere
sold out.
Sold out. Honestly, you guys have to look up the videos. It's very hard to describe. Mm-hmm. Besides some of them.
It's kind of like a magic eye.
Yes.
Magic eye in the concert is what I feel like. Concert in the round.
It did look from the very top level extremely steep.
Yes.
So sounds like a little bit of vertigo.
Oh, I just think it would probably be really, really trippy because you're completely in it and you have no real bearing other than like the floor and your feet. But then if you have to look at that, then you're missing. I think that would be crazy.
The greatest thing that I could probably relate it to is like soaring over California. They should have built it like that, where you have the dangly feet.
Yes.
And there's like air blowing at you and suddenly it smells like oranges.
Yeah, no, we have advice for MGM. You need to let U2 have their week or two max of like christening it. I get it. They have so much influence. Maybe they funded part of it. I don't know what the finances were about the whole thing, whatever he did. Then you need to start moving into, and I agree with you, Adele would be really good, or Bruno Mars. The person who I think could actually capitalize the most from that crazy of a venue is Katy Perry.
Oh, I knew it before you even said it.
Because her show is so wacko. Like, she's such like a crazy visionary. Like, I love Adele. When I went to the show, it was stunning. But it was predominantly her and the piano. Like, that is what makes Adele Adele. Is that it wasn't... I mean, I guess like Skyfall had some stuff. And there was kind of the risers. And then the Set Fire to the Rain. And like
it
Adele is my
beautiful
queen.
Visuals.
It'd be beautiful, but I just don't think she needs it. I don't think that's her artistry.
She doesn't need it, for sure.
I think Katy Perry needs to have like all the bells and whistles, or Gaga would be amazing because Gaga's at Vegas right now.
I kind of forget that Gaga's in Vegas.
She only has like 3 more shows. I'm really sad. I wanted to go. I mean, she didn't do Chromatica. She just did the jazz one, and my parents went to that. They said it was insane. My parents sat directly behind Bradley Cooper.
That would be very interesting.
I feel like you got to get somebody else in there, MGM, besides U2. And we know all the U2ers are going to absolutely come for us. We get it.
Come for me.
Tell us where we're wrong. That's what we'll ask.
It's not a beautiful day when U2 is there.
Is that one of their songs? Okay. I guess we should know that. Oh, it's a beautiful day.
Yeah. Crushed it.
Thank you. It's a little early.
Yeah,
so that's a little pitchy dog. Can't sing the phone book this early. Okay. Now, we're going to give a little primer before our next story.
Okay.
We are not, nor will ever be, a political podcast.
No.
We're not making any political stances. We're not talking about who we voted for or didn't vote for or if we voted at all.
Exactly.
Just kidding. We did vote because everybody should be voting. Other than that, that's the only political stuff we're getting to. I didn't vote in one election, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, because I had a heart attack the day of the election and I was in the flippin' hospital. You knew that.
I did know you had a heart attack, but I didn't know that was when. What a good
on the
excuse.
day of the election. And so I was hooked up to all these monitors, and I'm watching all the reports come in, and all the nurses are like, what's going on?
You're like,
and I was
well,
like,
this would have given me a heart attack.
and they're like, sir, please take another aspirin. I'm like, got it. Anyway, so we're not political.
No.
But we saw this story, and it sparked a conversation in us that we needed to have. So this comes from TMZ. I'm going to just report how they've worded it here. Donald Trump, huge McDonald's delivery to court. Huge. Okay. So it says that McDonald's was delivered to the court during his $250 million civil fraud trial. We know that the former president is famous for his love of the Golden Arches, and a couple of security guards were spotted Monday afternoon bringing in several bags of food from the fast food franchise. There was at least 6 bags delivered by McDonald's Grub going into the Manhattan Supreme Court for Donald Trump. It says he's not the only one. Obviously, he was feeding, the other people a part of his team. But this is what it spurred. This is a conversation it spurred. I mean, aside from just like the absolute gag of being the former president of arguably one of the most powerful countries in the world, who's sitting on trial for one of his many upcoming trials, and he's like, you know what I need right now? I need a Big Mac. Not just a small Mac, not a medium Mac, a Big Mac. I need it with a large fry. I need it with a Coke. I'm so sorry.
Good.
That was a
really
alarming.
good impression.
I didn't even practice that. Oh my gosh, call me SNL. So they're like, you're old and aren't you an attorney? Guilty. And so I just love that the whole, the concept being, because I'm in court all the time. I was in court yesterday. I'm in court later today.
What food are you?
That was the conversation, was if you are
Uber
sitting
Eats,
on
whatever.
trial. And they're like, and keep in mind that you get a lunch break. So it's not like, well, someone needs to eat. You could get a lunch break. And if it's like, well, we need to be prepping. No, you don't. You should have been prepping the whole time. Your lawyers can prep. You as the witness or the party can go and eat. But instead you're like, I'm going to bring fast food in. I think the biggest crime he's committed is it wasn't Chick-fil-A. Because think of his brand.
Chick-fil-A is not an East Coast brand, though.
No, but I'm saying it's the most conservative of the fast foods. He should have really leaned into his sort of
idea.
We're going to do the Polynesian sauce. Love it. Great sauce. Gonna do the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Here's the thing, though. It very much reads like I'm not taking this situation seriously.
It could not read more like he's not taking
McDonald's.
the situation seriously.
So here's what I order to take the situation seriously. Cheesecake Factory 4 cheese pasta with a side of the Adam's peanut butter fudge cup ripple cheesecake.
Yes, this episode could again be brought to you by Cheesecake Factory. Please give us a call. We've now promoted you twice.
I know. Imagine carrying in the Cheesecake Factory bags, which are just
Gorge
elegant,
too.
sophisticated. Yeah. It's a heavyweight bag.
Yeah, it's like that.
It would cost
it's got
10
some beautiful
cents
color
on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be gorgeous. And also, I would love to eat 4 cheese pasta in court.
I really thought, because I texted you this and you said, hang on, don't tell me your thing. You have to tell me on the podcast. So I've been really thinking about what would I order to just be like the funniest, I do not care.
Funniest.
I would say Chili's baby back ribs. Oh. Just like an entire full slab of ribs.
Honey chicken crispers.
Or a bloomin' onion from Outback Steakhouse. Like
Outback
in my
would
mind,
be funny.
in my mind, the
That's
crime is
bit.
it's just one place. How much more funny would it be if it was like a bag from Outback, a Cheesecake Factory bag?
And we call that girl dinner.
We call that girls and gays go to dinner. Yeah, right. Like gays eat. So but I think it's really funny, the idea of like you order a whole host of things. And so some drivers like bring some security guard, because these are security guards in full-fledged like suits, right? So it's like probably maybe some like paralegal maybe.
Imagine you're like a paralegal, security guard, whatever. They're like, we need you to go get so much McDonald's.
Yes. 6
So
bags
much
worth.
McDonald's.
It's giving us Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Mary Crosby in the Sprinter van, not going to the drag show and saying instead to the driver, please just take me to McDonald's. I need a fish sandwich.
Such good TV.
That's such good TV.
Such
She
good
is
TV.
so Looney Tunes McGee. I'm obsessed. So our advice is if you're going to order food into court, first off, if you're on court for a $250 million civil conspiracy or civil
Cheifs.
fraud, no, don't call me if you're that's
Unless you're gonna win, and then
I only want
Cheifs.
easy cases. But also, do not order food like this. Just go out for food or have it delivered to somewhere private that you then like offsite if you're worried about time. And then if you are going to order food, diversify. Go level 10. Get us a little bit more.
Yeah, love it.
All right, our final story. I'm obsessed with this story.
I'm already giggling because I think it's so funny.
This is from CNN Travel. So I know all of you CNN travel girlies, gays, and theys are like, we know this story. But for those of you that may not be frequenting the CNN travel section, the headline says Disney sued.
Keep going.
It's just so funny because they put severe in quotation marks. So Disney sued over severe injuries allegedly caused by quote unquote wedgie from water slide. Okay. Walt Disney Parks and Resorts is facing a lawsuit related to an injurious wedgie that court documents allege resulted from riding the 214-foot water slide in the resort's Typhoon Lagoon water park in Florida. The suit pertains to an incident that took place on October 14th, 2019 on the Cowabunga water slide during a 2-week visit to Walt Disney World by plaintiffs Emma and Edward McGinnis and their family. It was for Emma's 30th birthday. The slide, which Disney bills on its website as a near vertical 5-story drop in the dark, descends 214 feet and plunges riders into the pool at the end of the ride. The suit, which was filed. This is an actual suit. Okay. Yes. That means she's paid a lot of money to a firm. Yeah. The suit that was filed last week in Orange County, Florida, alleges that Disney knew or should have known of the painful wedgies their slide would have caused, particularly for women. Specifically, this is from the suit. When a rider of the slide reached the bottom of the ride and traveled into the pool of water designed to stop further travel, the force of the water can push loose garments into a person's anatomy, an event known as a wedgie, the suit says. Because of a woman's anatomy, the risk of a painful wedgie is more common and more serious than it is for a man. They're looking for damages in excess of $50,000, exclusive of interest and costs. Disney World has not responded to comment yet. Okay. So I love 2 things about this. Yeah. The first is, imagine Emma, it's her birthday at Disney World. She's like, we're going to do the Cowabunga slide. It's like, videotape me. Okay, so then her husband is there with his camera out. And she's like, get it on the videotape. And so she does the drop. And his commentary is like, whoa, pretty steep, babe. You know, like Disneyland husbands. Yeah. And she's like doing her thing. Then she gets in the lagoon and she's like, ah. And it's just like, stop filming me. Stop filming. Like there has to...
like the post... When you get a wedgie from a water slide, because we've all gotten one.
Of course.
When you get a wedgie from a water slide and the way that you have to like walk and like hitch up your leg to unwedgie yourself. Yeah. That on camera.
Or the reach around. They're trying to like, oh gosh, that's real in there. Like it's just so, it's so unbelievably funny to me. And I just am trying to understand. So the case is premised. So first off, it's really funny to think that like what actually happened during the day. And she's like, it's my birthday, babe. And then she's wearing some swimsuit that just goes right into her anatomy. Like this says, right? But the other thing is that it says that Disney should have notified riders of the potential severe wedgie. And I'm just thinking, what does that sign look like on the ride? Like, beware, extreme wedgie possible. And then just like a picture of just like a butt cheeks being spread with like a full swimsuit, like Disney, but they put the Disney logo on the swimsuit because it's branded.
Maybe above,
going right up.
Above the slide, it just says wager a wedgie.
Or they should say, careful, Emma what's her name? Emma McGinnis. Emma McGinnis once got a wedgie so bad she sued us from this ride.
Emma McGinnis. Wedgie was here. Like, literally, how would you like us to notify every single person that walks up to the side? This could result in severe wedgie.
It's just unbelievable to me.
Do you think that would stop you? Like, would that make you go, oh, I
like
guess
I'd
I'm not
maybe
gonna
pinch
go.
my butt tighter as I'm going down the ride, but I would anyways. No one's sitting there just being like flabby butt, just like woohoo, it's a water slide. You are going down 5 stories, almost vertical. You are of course clenched. Maybe she wedgied herself. Maybe we have a causation issue.
Yeah,
Was
maybe
it the
when
water?
she was going down the 5-story slide, she had time to reach around.
She's like, they'll never see because it's in the dark. She's been planning this thing. She's like, I know how I want to spend my 30th birthday, making a lawsuit. It's also just so crazy to me because it says that it caused damages. It says that that she was actually, oh my gosh, it says when McGinnis impacted the slide and the water at the bottom of her swimsuit was forced between her legs and water was violently forced inside of her, she suffered damages. And they're saying it's both emotional and physical. And that she was not able to work. Oh, and also a loss of consortium claim. So it's just so crazy to me because it says that Edward has now lost his wife's care, comfort, and consortium in result of the injury, which means that he wasn't able to be intimate with her because of the wedgie. And so he's bringing his second, like that's also part of the damages. The level of insane and crazy you have to be to go and meet, like I have clients come in all the time.
Emotional damage
From the extreme wedgie that you got from the water slide that you decided to go on. I know there's like, obviously there's an assumption of the risk doctrine that's going to come in play and there's lots of factors. It's crazy. This is clearly in my mind just looking for settlement.
Do you think Disney will just settle?
Yeah.
And just be like, here's 50 grand, you idiot.
No, they're going to settle for like, here's 5, here's 10.
For 10 grand to have your name attached to being
forever.
The
CNN
wedgie
Travel,
woman?
You're the lead story at CNN Travel.
The wedgie woman. For 10
Imagine going to dinner with her. Like she goes to book club the next week after this article came out, and everyone's
she has like a butt pillow. She's like,
it was 4 years ago. It was October of 2029 or 2019.
oh, she's still milking it.
So she just brought it because the statute on those sort of cases. So general advice, know what you're getting yourself into. Don't be like unbelievably lame.
Yeah.
Because I worry that people's lameness is just absolutely on display when you're suing someone for an extreme wedgie. But also other advice to CNN Travel, keep the news stories like this coming and you will have yourself a subscriber. I will subscribe to CNN Travel if I get all the injuries that people sustain, like crazy dumb injuries people sustained while traveling.
I think it's the problem with things like this is it really just opens up people to be like, I got a wedgie once at Universal Studios. Like, stop suing people for dumb things. Like, it's for $10,000. You're now known as
the wedgie, the woman with the wedgie.
The woman with the wedgie.
Forever.
At Disneyland.
It's so unbelievably funny to me, but also like a little sad that that's where we're at as a society.
I love it.
It's so funny. All right, you guys, anything else you want to say before we hop off for the week?
Go listen to our Roman Empire episode. I felt like we were good in that.
Yes, that is such a fun. If you don't even know what we mean by the Roman Empire, you need to listen to the episode. We dropped it earlier this week. We explain what the Roman Empire is, and then we go through some of our pop culture. Are there any pop culture Roman empires that after we recorded it, you felt like you needed to add?
No, but everybody is saying the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is
like our new Roman Empire. Yeah.
And we'll see how it like stands the time.
Yeah, I hope it just continues to be wonderful and great TV for everybody. Great entertainment.
Well, make sure to give people bad advice this week.
Yep, and follow us on all social media platforms at
Good Bad Advice
Podcast and on YouTube.
Good Bad Advice.
Good Bad Advice. Thanks for listening, you guys. Share this with your friends and family.
And everyone you hate too.
Everybody and anybody who owes you money.
They need to laugh as well.
Yeah, cheer them up. Send it to your ex.
Bye.
Bye.